Hello again, and I finished another batch in the freeze dryer. This is batch 179. I started it on the 9th of February. I put it in for 9 hours to freeze, 12 hours to dry, and I started that at 4:35 in the afternoon. What this was 4 trays. Each tray had the exact same amount of the exact same item, which is the way I like to do it. There's 1 pound, 12 ounces of chicken noodle soup that had no veggies. I added a lot of garlic, red pepper, and oregano. I don't normally add all of that, but I was looking to make more of a medicinal soup, and I just didn't put any vegetables in it because I didn't have any. Over here, I have the cost, and I just estimated it was less than $10 for the entire amount, and because I got chicken for 99 cents a pound, and the noodles are really inexpensive, and I already had all the spices. Right here, what I like to keep track of sometimes, and I do this for other batches, I don't write it in all the time, but I normally have it on another sheet of paper. 28 ounces of this food cooked. Once it's freeze dried, only weighs 150 grams to like 153, 143 each tray will weigh a little different. And this batch would have only taken 38 hours to freeze dry beginning to end, including, the times that I added for the 9-hour freeze and 12-hour dry cycle. My freeze dryer ran for 91 hours because I added 53 hours. I just added 10 hours because we went to visit my grandson and he lives an hour and a half away. And then when I came home, I was too tired, so I just added 10 more hours. The next day I had a doctor's appointment. The day after that, I had another appointment. So I just add time, which when you have a freeze dryer, it's totally okay to do that. It's also okay to allow the machine to complete its cycle, and it'll just beep until you come to check the food. It'll keep it in a holding cycle for you, but I prefer to just keep adding dry time because I don't want to let it hold the food for me for 2 days and then come to it and say, oh crap, this isn't totally dried, and then have to add more time. So I just keep adding dry time. I'm the queen of added time with a freeze dryer. So this is what my trays looked like when I was done. This is the chicken and noodles, and you can see it'll just lift off the tray. And what I do then is I break it into chunks, and then I'll put it on a plate where I've dried it. So this was 153 grams. So then I'll take 76 grams of that, which is half. And then I'll put it into a half-gallon Mylar bag. These are the bags that I like to use for entrees because then you can just add hot water to it to rehydrate it if you want to take it to work or if you go camping like my husband and my son. So then what I put on there is 14 ounces of chicken and noodle plus garlic, oregano, and red pepper. And normally I would put chicken soup with no veggies, but because I didn't put soup, I just put chicken and noodles. This, I left out a lot of the broth in this batch, so it can actually be served as a side dish, or if you want to reconstitute it with a little more liquid or preferably chicken broth, and then you can make it into a soup. And this right here is how I sort things. When I'm freeze drying them, I'll just put them on the stove and I put the towel down so they don't slip on the glass top. And then I will open my bag of oxygen absorbers and then just put one in each bag and then seal it with my sealer. The reason there are so many bags here, I also had a bunch of pasta that I wanted to put into Mylar bags, and since I have 20 oxygen absorbers in one bag, I like to use all of them up if you can't, or if you are, caught in the middle and have to stop what you're doing, you can reseal this bag. I just prefer to use them all up instead of resealing the bag. So I'm getting 8 bags of chicken and noodles. That's 2 bags per tray. But then I'm also doing, the bags of pasta. So those will go in buckets when I'm done. And that's it. That's today's prep. Chicken and noodles with garlic, oregano, and red pepper. And as soon as I made this and put it in the freeze dryer, I started to get a cold and wished I had some, but I'll just take my medicine instead. Have a great day, everybody. Be blessed.